Book of the Week, New York City, A State of Mind by Bruno Moyen. I'm Robin Caddy, and this fantastic book was published in 2007. It's available still online for around about a tenner, or if you prefer to shop second-hand, as little as £2.50 or £3. Remarkable, really. The quote at the start of the book is from Brian Eno. It says, "Honour thy error as a hidden intention." And I'll read you some of Bruno's introduction to the book. Effectively, he moved from France to New York City without his girlfriend, hoping that she would follow in time. And this, the photographs that he made here, was sort of an attempt at a love letter to woo her, both to himself and to New York City, but it didn't work out. He explains the city that emerges in these photographs is flawed, at least from the standpoint of reality. The colours and densities unfamiliar and somewhat ethereal. Previously, he's explained that he had only indoor film and it was the Sabbath and all the photo shops were closed, so he just had to shoot with what he had. My effort to win over a lover proved equally off the mark. A book of photos notwithstanding, our time had passed. Taken together, however, the seemingly botched images and ill-advised romantic ambition have yielded a collection of photos that are, in a sense, self-portraits. Here is my New York. Optimistic, if misguided. Recognisable to some, although obviously altered by mistakes. I'm not on display, but an internal state is present, a function of willing myself onto the street scenes and landmarks I hoped would serve as aphrodisiacs. Perhaps nothing reveals us to ourselves more vividly than a flawed attempt at an unrealistic goal. The technical errors on these pages were conscious on my part, but they also point to more guarded corners of the mind. For bringing that honesty to light, I thank a woman of whom I remain fond and a city that I will always love. Let's continue looking through the rest of this remarkable book, and I'll pick out some favourite images towards the end. Well, I hope you agree it's a remarkable book. New York City, A State of Mind. This photo of the Statue of Liberty just blows me away. An absolutely fantastic image. And it's really interesting to note that although this book was published in 2007, the work, according to Moyen's website, was actually shot in 2001 and 2. So way predating Hipstamatic or probably even Instagram itself, and yet these photos really have that kind of vibe, don't they? And I wonder how instrumental his work could have been in the use of the square format and in the filters that we're so used to in digital photography. The lith print colours of that particular scene there are just perfect, and who hasn't stood by the ice rink in Central Park and taken this photo? But I don't think any of us have done it quite as well or quite like this work. Very interesting as well. I thought this work may have been shot on a Holga, but in fact shot on a Hasselblad, which just goes to show everything that you need to know, doesn't it, really? McDonald's in Times Square, such a mundane scene but rendered so beautifully. Like much of this book, it really has a quality of its own and a stylistic vision, a consistent vision, which says an awful lot about Bruno and his photography. I urge you to check it out. As I say, available for £10 new or as little as £2.50 second hand.